series called Freedom, they have this nice balance between Earth and the moon, and I don't know, it sucks me in every time. And that's a terrible description of the Royal Space Force. Who did that? I did. Let's remedy that. Royal Space Force, The Wings of Honnêamise is a 1987 Japanese anime feature-length film directed by Hiroyuki Yamaga. It clocks in at 2 hours, so it's quite a lengthy film, but that's not an issue. It's a sci-fi drama, and it's not a family film, so I wouldn't get the kids together on a Friday night and snuggle up and pop in the Royal Space Force. Because first of all, it's not an action-driven movie. Sure, there are some set pieces, but that's not the main focus. Secondly, it's more of a character development, and it's got political undertones which aren't going to appeal to kids. And thirdly, there's a rape scene. Okay, attempted rape scene. I should have put the attempted at before that. So you really don't see anything. I lie. You saw a little something. It's not what you think. It doesn't detract from the movie. In fact, you should watch the movie. It's not an issue, but I wouldn't play that for kids. The Royal Space Force, The Wings of Honnêamise follows Shiro, a young, unmotivated man who had ambitions to become a Navy pilot, but instead found himself, due to poor grades, as a cadet in the nation's lackadaisical Royal Space Force. It consists of gung-ho space pilots and misfit scientists. Following the funeral of a fellow Royal Space Force cadet, the morale of the force has hit rock bottom. Bored and unfocused with no positive future prospects, he meets and nurtures a platonic relationship with a very religious young woman whose enthusiasm about the space program's significance and what Shiro is capable of inspires and changes Shiro's life for the better. Through her encouragement, he finds new purpose in life and volunteers for the opportunity to become the first astronaut in space. Shiro's new outlook on life and determination to see the program succeed motivates and inspires his fellow hapless Royal Space Force comrades to achieve new heights of excellence to successfully mold their nation's space program. Unfortunately, the newfound interest and driving force behind the Royal Space Force's space program brings unwelcome attention from the Kingdom of Honnêamise, who see it as a great means of precipitating war with the bordering nation, the Republic. These efforts by the Kingdom of the Honnêamise are made apparent to the Royal Space Force very early on, when the Kingdom moved the launch site closer to the border of the Republic, inspiring and justifying war. As hoped, when it comes down to crunch in the final act, in a breathtaking edge-of-your-seat finale, the Republic launches an attack against the Kingdom of Honnêamise, trying to foil the launch of the rocket ship, which they believe will be used as a weapon against them. This results in a visually stunning fighter planes duel in the sky while the clock ticks down to takeoff. The Royal Space Force is set in a fictional alternate world, very similar to Earth. So I was sitting there and I'm thinking, is this Earth? And then I remember that the main plot of this movie is getting the first man into space. So I was like, probably not. But then I saw an alien animal. I only saw one alien animal. I was like, okay, that's not Earth. The world design is highly detailed. From the unique architecture, it has a very industrial look, which I'm guessing is inspired by Blade Runner, to the unique costumes, to the weaponry, to the transport. It is very much its own movie. It has its own identity. When I watch anime, I will only watch them when they're dubbed in English. Now that doesn't go for live action non-English films, because I can see the actor, and when I see the actor, I want to hear the actor, and I'm very happy to watch them in subtitles. But with anime, I can't see the actor. And another thing, I don't want to be looking at the bottom of the page, reading the subtitles for half the movie, and missing out on all this detail right there in front of me. That's a waste. So I only watch them in English. But this can present a little bit of a problem in translation from Japanese to English, which sounds a little off, a little suggestive.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a slightly illegal business he runs on the side.
How? On the phone?
That's all he needs is just a phone. He's hard to keep up with. You see, from this year on, the royal family's business cars will be from Miggerin Motors, the same Miggerin company.
That sounds a little off. Let's hear it again.
From Miggerin Motors, the same Miggerin company that makes the Army's rockets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that didn't sound better the second time. I mean, it's a little racy, calling your company that. But then that's where subtitles come in handy. And it's the only time subtitles come in handy for me. And you'll see why.
The royal family's business cars will be from Miggerin Motors.
It sounds off, but in reality, it's not off. The Royal Space Force is a beautiful looking film. It's got a good story. It's not the best, but it's definitely worth a watch. So a thumbs up. You should see it. Guys, thanks again for watching. There's a little voice on the grapevine telling me that there might be a sequel coming in 2018, 30 years after the original, but I wouldn't cross your fingers for that. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and like on Facebook. Until then, I'm Paddy McManus.